It's a rainy day at the Trinity River Wildlife Refuge in Liberty County. It was very much up in the air as to whether or not to throw in the towel today altogether, given the dismal forecast throughout. Who would have expected such a dreary and drizzly day to yield such a vibrant paddle as it did? Even though today's rain cycled between trickle and torrent several times, it was free of thunder and lightning throughout the duration. This trek originated at the east launch of the Trinity River Wildlife Refuge, located at the end of County Road 417. I took my preferred route by first heading straight from the ramp and sweeping a hard left at the tree stand that lay just ahead. Though the trickling rain slapped the waterway with a regular rhythm, their tempo was perfect to me. I wouldn't see much wildlife until later, but even so, nearly every bayou bend echoed with the songbird's serenade. The waterway then subtly curved right, which led me onto the most defined stretch of Big Caney Creek. Here, as with the rest of this paddle, cypress trees flanked the aquatic promenade. There have been several times past in which the creek was all but inaccessible due to a mixture of low water levels and choking overgrowth that has occasionally consumed this entire section. However, this was no such issue today, as only a handful of scattered lily pads made up the extent of obstacles here. This section offers a pretty standard, albeit pristine, bayou experience, with tree-clad banks defining the route. If you keep to Big Caney Creek proper, you'll eventually get to a point that prohibits further travel by Texas Parks and Wildlife. But this is a substantial ways out. You'll also pass a number of cutoffs and jogs that offer the option of further exploration. You'll want to be mindful of markers on some of the trees at these intersections. I'm not sure how they are officially classified, but they nonetheless offer a few points for navigational reference in an area that can be somewhat disorienting to the overzealous explorer. After turning back on Big Caney Creek, I hung a right at the tree with a number 4 marker. Following this meandering waterway will eventually lead you back out toward what we'll call the main tract of the refuge. Here the cypresses cease their uniform structure and start to become much more scattered and sporadic. This is one of the greatest highlights of this destination. It can quite literally appear that you are traversing a floating forest beneath the towering canopies overhead. The closer you adhere to the western bank, the more open many of the tracts are. However, the more distance you put between you and the bank, the tighter the pattern adhered to by the cypress groves. Much of this area is so consumed by trees growing right out of the water that a non-satellite view map will show it to be indistinguishable from the surrounding land. It's here that the wildlife began to emerge as well. Whistling ducks and cormorants were the most common. However, another highlight of this journey came as I crested a tree line to find dozens of great egrets scattered about the branches. And I would soon find out that it was due to a few nests of fresh hatchlings. This was a first for me, and just added to what was already shaping up to be a route for the books. I also saw several eyes dart up from the water along the way. These timid gators would rarely stay up for more than a moment. Though they seem a bit more subdued here than in other paddling locales, make no mistake, there is a very substantial alligator presence here. I've more often seen them walking the Refuge trail, more so than from the Kayak here, but occasionally you'll be lucky enough to get a glimpse that would make a Cajun swamp paddler proud. Once again, it can be very easy to get turned around here. It's not been uncommon on my extended journeys here to find myself heading in an entirely different direction than I'd anticipated, so keep your bearings. Today I opted for a medium-distance trek, which saw me turning back when the sounds of County Road 1409 became audible. Another great thing about this route is that your return journey need not merely be an affair of retracing your prior paddle strokes. The endless paths and avenues traversing the cypress stands offer several alternate options. Though I was nearing the launch, I wasn't done yet. I continued south past the ramp, adhering to the western bank. This abbreviated route follows the path of one of the preserve's nature trails on the starboard side. It will eventually conclude at a cove flanked by a spillway. Here, you'll often find several anglers fishing on the bayou opposite of the spillway. I've also come across several diamondback and plain-bellied water snakes nestled on the nearby rocks here. And it is also in this short stretch that I have seen what, hands down, has to be the dominant male gator on the block, at what I would estimate to be just over 13 feet. With that, I decided to call it a day. And wouldn't you know it, the rain finally started to let up just as I began my final descent. However, I was content with the dynamic it added to the paddle throughout. Soaked as I was, I wouldn't have desired it any other way. This is one that I highly recommend for a unique experience. Though you can find a few similar cypress-laden stretches at a few other locales, such along Lake Charlotte's banks, I've not found anything that even compares in magnitude to this. It's a majestic feeling to float through an aquatic forest and provides a measure of natural immersion I've rarely experienced elsewhere. Even if paddling is not your thing, or you prefer not to share the water with gators, the Refuge still offers both creekside and more primitive nature trails, along with a nice fishing pier and powerboat launch onto neighboring Pickett's Bayou, which, incidentally, we'll cover in another video. I highly recommend a trip to the Trinity River Wildlife Refuge. Paddle smart, and God bless. Please like and subscribe for more great Gulf Coast content.